Guys, what is going on? It is Get Right here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freeze video, and today we're going to be taking on the Earth Zone in the 7 zone stages. Now, one thing I want to do before we go into the stage itself is ask you guys, do you guys want to see some changes to the 7 zone guides? You know, maybe instead of doing, 2 separate videos, make them into one, or if there's any other way to make these more interesting for you guys to, follow. I would be greatly appreciating any and every response you guys give down in the comment section below. And even if I do make them in one video, what I will do is, well, I'll label them depending on the year, month, and week it's part of, but also I will be making sure that there are chapters in the video itself, so you guys will know the exact timestamp as to when the new section is, or when the next 7 zone stage is being done, right? So let me know in the comment section down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, we're going to be doing the Earth Zone, and the Earth Zone is not one of my favorite stages. I'm not going to lie. It's obviously wind-based. I have wind units, as you guys can see, some decent ones as well. They're not amazing by any means of the imagination. One thing I'm going to switch out here is Felice instead of Aphrodite, or instead of Felice, I will use Aphrodite, I should say. And apart from that, the team is about right. Now, I'm going to switch off skill flow because if I'm not mistaken, this skill flow is from last week when we had the Earth Zone single target stage, right? So we're going to be rocking this right now. Manu, Fina, and Aaannndd will be our main damage dealers. Haruhime is there for support, and of course Rine and Ray are there for sacrificial unit purposes. Now, one thing to note as well is we're going to probably switch this around. Instead of counter rate, we'll probably go with if I can see, there we go, the wind and water damage attack increase, because that'll come in handy. Just dealing more damage is always good, right? I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to go back all the way. But yeah, I think this is the team we're gonna rock. Let me know down in the comment section down below what do you guys think of the Earth Zone multiple stage. How do you guys find it? Do you guys find it easy, difficult? Do you have the team for it or not? I'm curious to see what you guys have to say down below in the comments. Also, if you guys enjoy the video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi content. It would be greatly appreciated. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the fight, shall we? But yeah, with the 7 zone videos being very basic, very easy to do, I was just wondering to myself, whether or not I should probably do one video for both stages rather than 2 separate videos. But I want to see what you guys have to say, because you guys matter the most at the end of the day. If you guys want to still see me do, more so just, keep them separate and keep them in individual videos, I can do that. But at the same time, if you guys want me to do these proper, full-on, in detail videos as well and have them together, that's also possible. So let's just do this. We're going to just go for these moves, and we're going to go from there. This is a bit of an easier one. I always feel like the multiple stages ones are very easy because, to be honest, a lot of players, and not just me, a lot of players tend to always go for AOE units. And not only that, the game also tends to promote AOE units way more than they do single target units. If you look at any banner as well, right? If you look at any sort of banner that they've done in recent years, they've always been, mainly dominated by AOE units, and single target units are maybe you get 1 across both banners, right? There's never 2 across both banners. There's always it's usually 2 assists, 3 AOE units, and 1 single target unit, making up 6 units in total. If there's 4 units, it's usually 2 assists, 1 AOE unit, and maybe 1 ST, but the other one could also be an AOE unit. So it's 2 assists, 2 AOE units. So the game tends to promote this whole notion of oh, you want to run you want to run AOE units more so than single target units, right? They don't go oh, you should run this or that instead and whatnot. It's always been that case. Which is fair. I think that's absolutely fair because, the game itself, if you look at it, War Games is there. There's Familiar Rush, Familiar Royale, there's Familiar War Games. A lot of the main storyline events also tend to have AOE units at the end phases, right? And more often than not, when you go into events, Record Buster, some of the EX stages, the last stages of Familiar Rush and Royale, they're the only places we usually tend to get single target stages. So you can see them also being the more difficult content in the game, purely because you may not be, running those sort of units, unfortunately. But in my opinion, I think that's it makes sense. I do wish that they would promote a little bit more single target units, just so that players have the opportunity to pull them as well, right? But I also see why they don't do that, because of just how the game game is and stuff like that. Alright, let's just do this. There we go. We should be fine. I think we'll be able to do it. We won't be able to do it in turn 6 like we did the fire zone yesterday, which you guys can go check out down below. I was pointing up as if it's up there in the top right, but it's down below in the comment. If you click on the link to the channel, you'll be able to see it there. But yeah, I think it's very cool. Very cool that they have gone back to multiple stages. I always prefer those, to be quite honest, but also I don't see this team being able to clear it in 6 turns as well, just because of, well, this team being, well, this team. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a fantastic team. It's a ragtag win team, you know. It's not something that's gonna be super inspiring and can finish things off in, like, just like that. It's not a team like that. One thing I need to remember to do is make sure I use the skill flow in the next run, because every time I do this, whenever I do without skill flow for 1 turn and then go into the hard stage, I forget to activate skill flow and it just goes haywire from there. But there we go. Very hard is done. That's the Armor Ascension piece collected. Now, of course, one more thing to note as well is that when you go into these stages, right, remember, like, oh, if I want to save this team up for future runs, right, you can save the current skill flow and do this. Make sure you do that, because, you know, you can't do it after that. That's the only opportunity you have to remember the skill flow from what you did in that fight. And, you know, it also, remember, if you want to, you know, save this party and save it as this, it also makes sure to save the skill flow as well when you save your party, which is very, very cool. You get a lot of slots here as well, by the way. These additional slots are unfortunately locked behind a paywall. Unfortunately, I think that's the only L when it comes to Danmachi. But in all honesty, you don't need that much. You need 1 for each type, right? For both single target and AOE, right? So what I would do is save 7 of these parties and make them all AOE initially, and then have the ones that are live currently in your game be all single target, with the exception of 1 slot which you can use to keep updating basically here. So 7 slots will be AOE here, 1 slot here for ST, and then the 6 other slots in your basically party will be all single targets as well. The live ones here, right, all these parties here, they can all be single target, right? And then the 1 last slot will be basically universal for all the saved and loaded slots you have in other. In my opinion, that's the best way to do it. It allows you to also, you know, not worry about, oh, I've forgotten to do this. I haven't done it myself, to be quite honest, but that's because I also want to team build in front of you guys whenever I can. Of course, this team was ready from the get-go, so I didn't have to team build, but it's something to note for the future where, you know, you need to do something for an element typing and you want to just make sure it's quick to do and you don't have to wait like 5 to 10 minutes to team build. Basically, you can just do this instead and just save it from the get-go and not have to worry about it, right? I think that's way better than anything else. Alright, so let's continue on. This is hard stage, I think. I hope I clicked hard. Yes, I did click hard. We have the skill flow active. Let's get into battle, shall we? But yeah, it's a small tip and trick. A lot of people don't realize how good those party slots are. And hell, if you want to use it for, you can even use the Record Buster party slots or War Games party slots to be able to basically fulfill your 7 zone requirements or any other event that comes out, Familiar Rush, Familiar Royale. Because a lot of the times when you look at it, if you whatever you use in Familiar Rush, you could technically just throw on here as well, right? So there's that as well. One thing to note as well though is that Familiar Rush is a little bit more complex in the sense of you want to try and take advantage of the killer attributes that some of these units have, like Beast Killer, Plant Killer, or something like that, Material Killer. So in that situation, it's a little bit tricky because you will have to make those fine adjustments and fine tunes for whenever you know, you're going up against specific types of enemies and stuff like that. But outside of that, it's not difficult whatsoever. Also, really, we didn't kill on turn 4. That's insane. I'm surprised about that. Considering without skill flow on auto, we managed to kill on turn 4 with the water team. It goes to show that, you know, certain typings aren't good for certain players, right? Like for me, I will still maintain Earth and Wind. Well, Earth a little less so now because of Elmina and stuff, but I would still say Earth and Wind for me are just my worst typings. Absolutely worst typings. Dark is a little okay. Lightning a little okay. Fire, water, and light is absolutely fine, I think, especially fire, light with the anniversary. I mean, I think everybody's light teams are phenomenal right now. Water is still good based on especially last year and even year 3, I would say. Fire, year 3 again, fantastic set of units since then, and you know, we've also gotten some updates to it recently, but I would still say the fire units from back then are still phenomenal. But yeah, All right, let's do this. There we go. Turn 3. Beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. But there you have it, guys. That's the Earth Zone done and dusted. Hopefully this week is a little bit easier. Maybe like if they give me Wind Zone and Dark Zone, it'll be easy app. It'll be easy app. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. Would you guys like to see one consolidated video rather than 2 separate videos for 7th Zone? And also keep subscribed to the channel. Of course, there will be a video out for the top 10 Record Buster units out right now for this week's Record Buster as well. So be sure to keep an eye out on the channel for that. And of course, be sure to stay subscribed. There's going to be Danmachi content coming out in the coming weeks as well. Even if I'm away, I'm not going to be around. I will still be uploading daily or nearly daily, maybe 1 or 2 days here or there. But yeah, keep an eye on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys later on. Bye-bye, everybody.